Is there such thing as the wrong place at the wrong time? Well, our next guest book explores the journey of musicians who wonder that very same question. Itamar Moses is the author of The Band's Visit, and he's joining us now. That show you'll be able to see coming to Northwest Arkansas very, very soon.
Yes.
Welcome.
Welcome. Thanks for being here, Itamar.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So for folks who are not familiar with this, even the book or the staged version of the book, what is The Band's Visit about?
So The Band's Visit is originally based on an Israeli film of the same name, which premiered in, I want to say, 2006, 2007 in Israel. And it's about an Egyptian police orchestra that plays classical Arab music going to Israel to give a big concert. But there's a miscommunication at the bus station. So instead of going to the large Israeli city where they're supposed to do the concert, they end up in this tiny town in the middle of the desert where there's no concert and there's no buses till the next day, and they have to stay overnight in the middle of nowhere. And it's about these townspeople who take them in and the little connections and relationships that form between these visiting musicians and these Israeli villagers over the course of one night. And then in 2015, 2016, a theater producer named Orrin Wolf hired me and David Yazbek, the composer who did Full Monty and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, to adapt that film into a stage musical.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we did that for New York a few years ago, and now it's coming to Fayetteville.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think about the importance of having a story like this in our collective canon? Why is it important for us to see, to read, to hear more about this?
It's a really good question, because it's a very sort of simple story, very understated story, and then we got this huge response when we opened it, and we ourselves were like, well, why? What is it speaking to? And I think it's a few things. There's a basic humanism in it. It's sort of about how these people come from across this border, these two cultures come together that maybe have a history of being at odds with one another, but then because of the sort of basic human needs, food, shelter, basic human stimulations like food, music, love, they bond and connect, and all that stuff sort of transcends things like borders and politics. So
Sure.
I think both, when we initially did it in New York, which was, during a time of really heated debate that's still going around, immigration, and there's a lot of sort of xenophobic rhetoric, it really spoke to an antidote to that. And then now coming out of a pandemic in which people have been really isolated and sort of lonelier, the connection, the ability to connect face to face, also seems to be an important aspect of how it speaks to people.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Before we let you go, you're also working on An American Tale, the musical.
Yeah.
Quickly tell us about that.
So, yeah, the famous 1986 animated film about Fievel the Mouse being lost in Mouse, New York. Me and a great composing, there it is, there's rehearsal. Lyricist team, Alan Schmuckler and Michael Mahler and I adapted it to a stage piece for Children's Theater Company of Minneapolis, which is the big, children's theater.
Yeah.
And so we're opening in Minneapolis April 29th, if anyone happens to be there from your audience. And then hopefully it will go on to have a life beyond that. But yeah, we're in rehearsal now doing stage version of An American Tale.
Yeah. Congratulations,
Yes,
Itamar,
absolutely.
again.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
The Band's Visit is coming to
Coming.
TheatreSquared, so make sure you stay plugged into TheatreSquared on when you can see that show locally. Itamar, thank you so much
Thanks,
for joining
Itamar.
us. So great to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, guys.